In fact, speaking of braces and knees and rotation and vulnerability, here's a scenario for you. If somebody consulted with me, not on how to heal a knee or protect it, but how to destroy it, here is what I would advise that you do. First, you would want to take the ankle joint out of the picture. You would want to have any kind of force that the bottom of your foot is subjected to transmit directly to the knee with no ability for these joints to absorb it. So I would say, first thing you want to do to destroy a knee joint is lock the ankle into a rigid structure, which would force any movement that's occurring here to be transmitted directly to here. And then to that rigid structure that was encasing your ankle, I would say attach a really long lever. A really long lever. Longer than this, okay? And I would do that to both feet, all right? And then I would take this whole arrangement and I would accelerate it at high speeds with sudden changes of direction in a cold environment. Yes, it's called skiing. It's called skiing. Downhill skiing. That is, you figured out what I was describing. But if it wasn't a sport, if it wasn't a recreational activity, if it was an activity designed specifically to injure this joint, that is how you would do it, which is why it is so important, if you're a skier, to make sure that your bindings are set correctly. What does that mean? It means the minute any kind of force other than in this plane of movement occurs between the boot and the ski pops free. So you don't have that long leverage force being exerted on the knee. You ask anybody that has torn their ACL or torn their meniscus skiing, what happened? Most of the time they'll say the binding didn't let loose. I went down and the binding didn't let loose, you know? Bindings of downhill skis are set in such a way that you can generate as much force in this direction as you want, because that's the direction you're going, okay? Wherever the tip of that ski is pointed, that's exactly where the toes are pointed, and that better be exactly where your knees are pointed. As soon as any force happens outside of that plane, you know, if the ski goes that way and the boot goes that way, that ski better keep going without the boot. Otherwise, it's going to tear up your knee. So that's what I think about downhill skiing. You know, I live in Massachusetts right between two ski areas. I got Catamount on one side and Butternut on the other. And people say, oh, you must ski. And I go, no, I don't ski. Because I have the kind of job that requires me to be able to, you know, use my knee joint fully. I'm not a stockbroker. I can't sit at a desk in a knee brace, you know, earning my living. I need my knees to work.
Snowboarding the same?
Snowboarding's a little different in terms of the mechanics of it. But yeah, people do tear up their knees snowboarding too. You know, the bindings are a little different between the boot and the thing. And there's a little more flexibility in a snowboard boot, you know, in the ankle. Doesn't mean you can't hurt your knee. You know, what the skiers will tell you, it's the damn snowboarders who make them hurt their knees. Because they're going down the slope, they're doing fine, and then some snowboarder comes across and is like, whoa, you know, it's always someone else's fault. You know, I was doing fine, some schmuck was, you know, cutting into my path, or I was trying to avoid somebody else, and that's when I did the move and screwed up my knee. So, you know, anyway. So that's what I think of skiing.